chances are someone will knock on your door with a clipboard this year, offering to discuss a local blackout prevention initiative. They will likely say they aren't selling anything, just educating you on your options. But the immediate goal of that interaction is to get you to hand over a recent utility bill to start their qualification process. Sharing that bill pulls you into a funnel that ultimately forces a binary choice. You will have to decide exactly how you are going to pay for your home's electricity for the next 20 to 25 years. These zero-down solar programs are not scams, but they are legally binding multi-decade commitments. If you sign one without clearly understanding the financial terms you just agreed to, you can lock your family into massive, unexpected liabilities. Depending on your financial goals, there are really only two paths you can take to put solar and battery backup on your home: a power purchase agreement or full system ownership. The horizontal axis measures upfront capital and effort. The vertical measures long-term return and control. A power purchase agreement lands bottom left, almost zero effort but low financial return. Full system ownership sits top right, significant upfront capital, capturing maximum return and complete control. If you choose the wrong quadrant for your specific lifestyle, you will either trap yourself in debt you can't service, or you will leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Let's look at the mechanics of a power purchase agreement, or PPA. Under this contract, you allow a solar company to custom tailor and install their equipment on your roof. You do not take on any debt to buy the hardware. Instead, you simply purchase the clean electricity the system generates. This comparison matrix lays out the exact trade-offs. Notice the upfront cost row for the PPA. It's $0. Your only financial commitment is buying the power at a guaranteed, locked-in rate that is significantly less than what your local utility company charges. Because that rate is locked, you get immediate, predictable budgeting against utility inflation for the entire 20-year term of the contract. Look at the maintenance liability row. The installer owns the system, which means they are completely responsible for all repairs, right down to swapping out expensive backup batteries if they fail. But check the tax benefits row. That peace of mind comes with a cost. Because the installer owns the system, they capture all available federal tax incentives, severely capping your own long-term savings. And finally, the resale impact. If you sell your home, the new buyer has to formally qualify for and agree to take over that existing 20-year contract. A PPA buys you instant blackout protection and lower monthly bills today, but you pay for it directly by sacrificing long-term home equity and tax advantages. Now consider full system ownership. This route means you purchase the solar panels and battery setup outright, either by writing a check or securing a home improvement loan. Returning to our matrix, you can see the upfront cost under ownership is high. However, by buying the equipment, you capture the 30% federal solar tax credit and any state incentives entirely for yourself, heavily accelerating your return on investment. The math here is straightforward. Your end goal is to completely eliminate your monthly electric bill over time. But look at the maintenance liability row. Once the manufacturer warranties expire, you are financially responsible if an inverter breaks or a battery needs to be replaced. If this specific local company that installed your system goes bankrupt, you will have to track down and pay a third-party contractor to service your roof. On the upside, check the resale impact. Because it's a custom-engineered, owned asset, it directly increases the appraised value and equity of your property. Ownership generates maximum wealth and gives you total control of the asset, but it shifts the entire burden of long-term financial risk and all the equipment maintenance directly onto your shoulders. So how do you actually decide between the two? You have to map these paths against your specific household footprint and financial realities. We can map this on a simple decision tree. Start at the top node. What is your primary goal? Do you want hassle-free protection on the left or maximum financial return on the right? If you are cash conscious and your priority is instant protection and lower bills without taking on major equipment debt, you follow the left branch straight to a PPA. If you have excellent credit, a high tax liability, and a desire to build permanent property value, you follow the right branch to system ownership. But look at the warning nodes under ownership. If you plan to move within 5 years, or if you don't have the tax appetite to actually use those federal credits, the financial benefits vanish. The tree redirects you straight back to a PPA. A financial product is only as good as its alignment with your lifestyle. Neither path is universally correct for every neighbor on your street. The next time an educator knocks on your door and asks to scan your roof, you need to know exactly how to handle them. If you decide to hand over your utility bill to show your electricity usage graph, make sure you establish strict conditions up front. Instruct them that you require a fair market cash purchase quote placed directly beside any zero-down PPA proposal they bring you. Having both physical quotes in hand allows you to look at the hard numbers and run the comparison math independently, entirely removed from their sales framing. Listening to a sales presentation is fine for gathering information, but true financial empowerment only comes from verifying the math yourself before you sign your name to a 2-decade contract.